Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you. Please come, let's pray together. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya mrityorma amritam gamaya Sahana bhavatu Sahano bhunaktu Sahaviryam karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. O Lord the Almighty, who also has the divine names as Samsthanaha and Sthanadaha, to such a magnificent, omnipotent, omnipresent divine Lord, together with Shraddha, Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Prapatti, we offer our humble salutations to seek His grace, His mercy, His blessings, His compassion, His love, His strength, His forgiveness. O Lord, please bless me with the divine qualities in a higher proportion. Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, Shraddha, Prapatti, Mumukshutva, only and only to have the true understanding of Thy nature as a very personal experience, Aparoksha Anubhuti, in this very life only. I beseech in you again and again to bestow upon me these qualities so that I can understand Thy true self. It is much beyond my control. Our humble salutations to the Guru Parampara. Om Tat Sat. So today, by the grace of Almighty and the blessings of our Guru Parampara, we are on our Divine Discourse number 361 on the 26th of December 2023. Shobhan Krit Nama Samvatsar, Dakshinayan, Hemanta Rutu, Margashira Mas, शुक्लपक्ष भौमवासरे पूर्णिमातिथौ मार्गशिर नक्षत्र शुक्लयोगे भद्रकरणे. On this auspicious day of Tuesday, and the auspicious time of the evening, we all take a firm resolve. Naham karta hari preranaya hari prityartam. Whatever I am facing in my life, through any incident, occasion, situation, circumstance, I understand, O Lord, it is only and only by thy divine play. Each and every aspect which I am encountering in my life, I fully understand and I fully accept that this is only and only to uplift me from this ocean of births and death. Accepting every situation with that profound faith and the feeling of prasada buddhi, I lead my life in a peaceful, contented and serene manner. With your blessings. Our salutations to the Guru Parampara once again. Om Tat Sat. Good evening, everybody. A very warm welcome to all of you once again. So now, actually, this shloka we can say that Lord Krishna is preparing us. In a way, understand. See, for anything, you go to a doctor. You tell your problem. What the doctor does is he does not take any call immediately. He just writes down a list of examinations you need to undergo in terms of tests you need to do. And then after all the reports come, then he understands where the problem is. Isn't it? So in the same way now here, before Lord Krishna is imparting that knowledge to us, he's trying to tell us, first understand. And then you move forward in that direction, because when you are practicing what I'm going to tell you, if you have gone through the entire process of knowing how your mind works, how the ignorance gets stronger, and how one can attain knowledge, thereby with that knowledge you are able to dispel that ignorance, and once the ignorance is dispelled, then you become a free bird. You merge with me. So this crux, now I'll be first taking it in a very lighter mode, and then we'll go into much detailed mode. But here what you need to grasp all along is understand the whole process, how the creation has happened and how the mind is designed as per the creator. Okay, first let's chant this shloka and then we move forward. Chapter 5, shloka number 16. Shri Bhagavanuvacha Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitamatmanaha tesham adityavajnanam prakashayati tatparam. Now, you're sitting quietly. A thought arises in the mind. A sankalpa, what we call it, comes in the mind. Now you give a form to it. And then you start thinking, to achieve this, I have to do several things, A, B, C, D, E, F, or 1, 2, 3, 4. You make a list of all that. Meaning what you did, you visualized the situation. Like as simple as you want to go on a holiday. So then you visualize, where do I go? Now then you visualize which is the best season to go. Then you also think of, whom do I contact? Should I make my direct bookings or should I go through a travel agent? Then you think of, is there anybody who has gone to that place where I can take their advice? So now this particular, you put everything which came into your mind as a bare thought. It slowly, you started acting on it. Which means that what we thought inside eventually is expressed outside. This much, it's very clear because it's a part of our daily life. Mind makes a resolve. It takes a decision. Then the form to go about is given by the intellect. And then whatever intellect has decided, it is achieved by the action which is taken care by the body. Okay. Now let's take a simple example. I want to eat some puris. Suddenly I got a wish. Okay, let's make puris today for breakfast. Now immediately you start making a list of things. What do I need? I need atta, I need oil, I need a bowl, then I need the apparatus to roll the puris, and then I need some sabji, salt. All this, what you do, you make a list and then you start getting those ingredients. First the thought came in and then you decided and you got the list. But now all that what I have just thought, let's say it's only in the thought process. I've decided, I've resolved, fine. But did anything happen? No. Only when the thought goes to the next level, you bring it into action, nothing happens. So the body got into action what your intellect decided and what your mind wished. Okay, now action has happened. Puris are ready. An appropriate sabji is made and all set to eat. Okay. Now understand carefully. This sankalp or this decision which was born in my mind, inside me, it is inside me, it is not, you're not seen anywhere. You're just thinking, where did it come? It came inside me. And outside what happened? Outside I started making a list. I started talking over the phone to the concerned vendor, or I gave that list to somebody, go and fetch these things. As the things came in, I arranged all the things and then the body got into action and finally everything was made. So what was born inside, it eventually came out and got manifested. This is how everything works. We don't pay attention to this, that's all. But now why are we discussing these things in detail? Is to understand, oh my God, ignorance, where is this ignorance? I want to correct my mind situation now. Ignorance is in the mind. It's not in my leg or it's not in my stomach or not on my back. It is in my mind. Unless and understand the working of the mind, I will not be able to deal with that ignorance. So what was born inside me has now come out, got manifested, and then whatever got manifested, we again put it back inside. What you did? Puris are ready, you saw it, looking good, you started eating one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, and then you say, wow, enough, now I'm done. This is samsara. This is what exactly, as per the Shastras, they call it as samsara. Samsara is one who is a victim of all his actions, which have arisen from the mind, and through that process eventually materialized, and then he feels, Oh, I'm happy, had a sumptuous breakfast. And he thinks good about it. Now, what a gnani does, a knowledgeable spiritual seeker, he watches his thoughts. As the other person was sitting simply, quietly, and a thought came about puris, and puris were made, he ate and he said, wow, nice. But a gnani gets this thought. He watches these thoughts and he smiles at that thought. That which is born inside me, why should I bring it out into action and then again put it back inside me? What is the big deal? What did I do over here? So as a sadhak, if we think carefully to get an angle of this thought process, this sankalpa, that visualization, so getting that stuff, making them, eating them, and then as this stuff goes inside, it makes your desire stronger. This is the next level. Now, once you have accomplished something, of having thought of something, got the necessary things to achieve it, and then achieved it, then what happened? The desire in the mind goes back into your causal body and it becomes a vasana, your tendency. So this is nothing but an emotional drama. And how does it work? A wish, if you are able to achieve it, it goes back and subsides into your karana sharira and it makes it more stronger. If you do not achieve it, then it creates anger. So this way a sadhak, a gnani, thinks, I should not entertain such thoughts. He starts screaming. Every stage he says, what good is it going to do to me? He may even change the mode also. He may say, no, puri is not right to eat in the morning. Let me have something healthy. So that is the next level. So this way, instead of repeating that cycle again and again, because he knows that if I keep entertaining these thoughts, I'm not going to go anywhere on my spiritual path. So he makes a proper filtering of the thoughts. Now another aspect. If one is exposed to various objects, how do these thoughts come? Because we're exposed to objects. Then only the thoughts are framed. So now for this, let's take an example. Let's say a child is born. Okay, a male, a boy baby. You take it into a deep jungle and you bring it up in a cave with proper guidance, security and proper care. You give it the necessary milk and food and fruits from time to time. Now the baby is growing up. It becomes a infant and then a young boy and then a teenager, and now it has passed its teens. It's in early 20s. Now the boy is early 20. Now will you compare that boy to a boy who is in the city? Will that boy ever think of anything other than his natural instincts? If he is hungry, he'll say, I want to eat. If he is thirsty, he'll say, I want to drink. And if he is saying, I am feeling sleepy, then he'll sleep. Will he think of saying, I must buy so-and-so model of a Mercedes car, or I must buy so-and-so flat by so-and-so builder, or I should have a mobile of so-and-so make, or I should go on a vacation to so-and-so country or location? Thing comes. So which means thoughts come from the objects which our senses are exposed to. From that exposure, then a desire comes, and the rest we know now. Now, earlier days, talk about some 80, 100 years ago when there were no soaps. There were no toothpaste or anything of that kind. What was that? For body, they used to use mud. And for as a toothpaste, they used to use some neem sticks, or they used to use salt or charcoal. But now you go to a mall and you see hundreds of varieties of toothpaste are there and soaps are there. You buy a soap. After having bought, again when you come back and you're bathing with it, you think, Arey, I think I should have bought the other one. That was looking much better. This is not giving that much satisfaction. I'm not that happy with this. See how the mind works. Look at the days like when you had Doordarshan, only one channel. And specific time you had those programs. There was no choice, no hankering of the mind. Today you want to watch something, you open the TV, my God, by the time you decide what to watch, half an hour is over. And after that you will say, I'm not getting the right thing, you'll switch off the TV. So, when there is no choice, there will be no desires. So from this we understand that the mind, the more you feed it with thoughts, which by way of exposure, you will be again and again, it will be resulting in anchoring of your mind. So this person will adjust and try to live with that one thing if there is no choice. So mind will keep hammering only when it knows that it does not, it is getting a choice. But it will keep quiet when it knows that it is not getting anything else and it better stops here. So, anything else in life which we want to fetch or which the mind feels longing is because of our exposure to various things. So, in this process, we think while we do that, now the mind has seen something, generated a thought, body has got into action, and then you feel in this process, I am enjoying this. I am doing this. I am going to so and so place. See, all this. It puts you into that area where everything you start getting connected. Right from the thought, now you came to a stage where I am doing this. According to the Shastras, it is completely false. This body which does action is an equipment. This mind which is doing something is an equipment. Actually, I am not concerned with this. How do you say I am not concerned? A person who says that this is my house, this is my wife, this is my husband, this is my car, this is my office, my factory, my bank balance, my properties. One fine day, let's say he passes away. Now, can he say all this is mine? Gone. So, when he himself is not there in a moment, he lost all that what he was connected to. If you think carefully, the mind generates the thought that this is my husband, this is my child, this is my wife, this is my house. It generated the thought. How powerful the mind is, observe. With somebody, you go to an extent where you love that person and you sacrifice all your relatives, whoever, whether your mother, your father, your near and dear ones, everybody is not accepting for that, but you go against them and you get married. And then after some time, you get divorced. Now the person whom you loved the most, you now hate the most. So where did this happen? This happened in the mind. It is not anything else which is created by somebody else. Your mind said this person is good and I must sacrifice anything, whatever I can do to fetch him in my life, and you went that extra mile to get it. And at another point, you said, no, this person is horrible. Now I should get rid of him. Parents who love their children to such a great extent, but when their children don't listen to them and they go against their wishes, they are separated. Now where did this love go? If anything was God created, then these disturbances should not happen. It is your mind which is telling you that this is, I want this, I don't want this. So understand how the mind is playing. And know that for everything, what has been created, it is by the Creator. And the mind which puts us into this ignorance, because it is ignorant, it is going into this cycle of samsara. Thought generated, get into action. A good action will give you punya, and that punya will give you a good life, happiness. And a bad action will give you papa. Papa will give you misery in life. So, before doing that, now you have to think that this is not mine. I came into this, on this earth. Even all these things have come along with me. Each person, thing will be there for a particular point of time, and then one fine day, they are all gone. So once one thinks that I am not the karta, I am not the bhokta for all this. This is all by prakriti dharma. Once you have to come to that level. Again, which means what? God is the karta of all this. Now this question will come. Hey, when you are not concerned to all this, meaning then what are you saying? Why will he be concerned? You yourself is saying, I am not the karta, I am not the bhokta, and then you say, God must be the karta, God must be the bhokta. No. God is not the karta. Then why should one do, you get another question, why should one do only good deeds? Why should I do japa? Why should I do tapas? Why should I do a vrata, a puja, a pilgrimage, dana, seva? Why should I do this? I can very well do wrong things also, no? Because wrong things are nice to do in life, and there is more enjoyment in doing wrong things. No. Here is driving us to the point. Say, for example, you are hungry. You go and tell your friend or your mother, sister, I am hungry. If they give you some mud to eat, let's say, you're hungry, right? Eat this mud. What do you say? What is this? You're giving me mud. What do you think of me? I know nowadays you don't love me. I know this. You start going on. Because they give you mud. Then why do you say I only want to eat food? Not only food, good food. I want which is not stale. I want something which is fresh. I want something which is tasty, healthy. You have all those specifications. If you want to drink water, you are not going to drink any nonsense water. You will check whether it is of the right quality, right temperature, and it is safe for you to drink. Why did you do all this? When it comes to your eating or your drinking, anything what you want to do, you get into an action which is safe for you, good for you, helpful for you, and also rightful for you. So in this way, when you do karmas, you are performing karma, meaning it is as per the dharma. But when you do anything other than that, it is the opposite of dharma, which is adharma. So you understand? So he says, don't apply that principle. Why I should do only good things is because when you want to eat something, you want to experience something, when you ask that I need to do good things, so apply that same formula everywhere. So if God is doing everything to us, now that question will come. Then why does he do wrong things through me? Now I did a wrong thing. And now I'm saying, oh, God is doing everything. And when it comes to a wrong thing, I put the blame on God. For such kind of a situation, all these kind of thoughts. Now Lord Krishna is giving an answer in this particular shloka. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashita matmanaha tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tatparam. Jnanenu tadajnanam. Let's say now in a village, there was a very ritualistic, a traditional, orthodox family where there are 3 generations together, grandparents, parents and children. Now the older generation was into being an orthodox family and elaborate puja to the extent that they had a saligram also. I think we all know what is saligram. So which has to be the puja level for a saligram is at the peak level. There are a lot of formalities to be followed in a house if you have saligram, and it must be puja must be offered on a daily basis. Abhishekam, then Naivedyam, all that there is a process. Now the grandparents were doing it. Over a period of time, what happened? The grandparents passed away. Parents continued. Children, for better prospects, they moved to cities because they had studied courses where job was available only in cities. There they were staying in posh houses. Parents are in villages. A very common scene as on date. Now, over a period of time, parents passed away. Now the children, whatever they wanted to get from that house, they got all that, and the rest they just left it there, including that puja room. They just locked the puja room. They said, what do we want from the puja room? So the saligrama box also was there in the puja room. They just bought the other valuables and they came. Now, one day the house collapsed because nobody was there to take care. And the children did not care much. They know that the value of the site is more important nowadays. So let the debris be there. It is in one way that there is no encroachment and all that. And they were happy about it. Some years passed. Calamities struck the children in the cities. And they were very much concerned. One after the other, calamities. Now some elderly relatives, they said, I think this Tata, meaning grandfather, he had this saligrama, Vishnu saligrama. Where is it? Children said, we don't know. I think it must be there only in the puja room. Last we had seen it there. We have not bought it from there, meaning it is there only. Now the children go and, meaning the relative tells, go and talk to a Panditji. Inquire what you should do about this. So they go to a Panditji and say, we had saligram in the puja room, and then over a period of time the house collapsed. Now it's all debris on the puja room. So what should we do about that box which has the saligram? Now the Panditji tells a very sensible thing. He tells them, if there was a pot of gold coins, would you come and ask me? So this is that driving point. We all know that gnana swarupa is within us. That infinity is within us. That ocean of bliss is within us. But because of our ignorance, because of the shadripus what we have got, which is completely, it has covered that knowledge. We don't know the value. Ask a person who does the saligrama puja, how much value he has for that saligram in his house. But the ones who do not know its value, for them it's just another stone. Maybe they'll call it as a designer stone. That's all. So this jnana, shadrupus have completely covered our jnana, like that box which has covered the saligrama. So this ajnanena tu avritam jnanam. Knowledge is inside the box of ignorance. But we don't want to open the box at all. Reason is, you feel, that ignorance, it also acts as a kind of a fence for that knowledge is within inside. And by Maya, what the Upanishad says is, now we should understand this also. Then why am I in that state? Why don't I realize, if it was a pot of gold, first thing is we would have bought it, the very first thing from that house, because we know its value. As far as this saligram is concerned, I don't know the value, so I have not acted on it. So why do we not relate to that valuable thing which is within us? So the Upanishad says, Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha. So what does this avidyayam antare vartamana means? People are proud to have the fence of ignorance around them. And they talk of their high profile lifestyle. I get up at this time in the morning, I do this, I do this, I do this, where nothing is concerned about their soul. Everything is for whatever it is for their body and maybe something for the mind. Swayam dhiraha. We are not afraid or scared. Now I don't allow this Panditjis and all these people come, but I stay away from them. They have created a fence. Anybody would, be it your parents or your well-wishers, they'll tell you once, they'll tell twice, and then afterwards, they'll say there's no point telling this person. Now these people, these what you call the ignorant people, they'll think, see how beautiful I have fenced all these kind of people. Nobody will say anything to me. But Swayam Dhiraha, you think you have created a fence where they don't attack us. Panditam Manyamanaha. But who have thought themselves to be as gnanis? Ones who sit in that forced area of ignorance and think falsely that they are gnanis. Now, they have just thought. These guys, they are truly not gnanis, but they have thought themselves to be gnanis. This is the way. Those are all idiots. They don't know anything. What do you get by doing all this? Waste of time. In that way, Panditam Manyamanaha, they think themselves as gnanis. And now, from this, one just learns a bit and he thinks sometimes so much that he knows everything. He never thinks that he does not know anything. Even if he has learned little bit, he'll think that he knows everything. Like say you're going to Himalayas and to have darshan of the holy shrine, Badrinath, Kedarnath. And on the way you're going by a bus and on the way you see the Himalayas. And after you come back, you explain so much about the Himalayas to an extent that as though you have seen the whole of the Himalayan range. You must have seen only maybe 1% of the Himalayas or even less than that. But you talk that as though you have spoken about, you have seen the whole thing. Same way, we do not have even that 1% of knowledge. But we behave, these innocent and ignorant people, they behave that they know everything. So now here the Upanishad is warning us. Avidyayam antare vartamanaha swayam dhiraha panditam manyamanaha. This is a very beautiful state of our life. Being ignorant and not knowing that we are ignorant, and on the top of it thinking that we know everything in life. I know everything. Don't tell me anything. You've seen children, nowadays how they argue. The moment you start telling something, they'll say, stop. Don't tell me anything. In fact, they think, what do you people know? That is the kind of a concept which they have developed. So this way, it is like a blind person asking another blind person, how do I, show me the way to that place. Andhe naiva niyamanaha yatantaha. Our life has become like that. One blind person is guiding us and showing us the way. So this Upanishads talk of that agnani, which before you become a seeker, most of us were that. Now after having become a seeker, we are getting out of that noose, or you can say out of the grip of that ignorance. So we always look for a shortcut in life. Everything we want quick. So if somebody has got, let's say, health problems, and now he has consulted several doctors, and several doctors have prescribed so many medicines, some have prescribed some surgery and things like that, and now somewhere he reads in a paper that distant pranic healing or something, you'll see something like that, which can cure all your diseases. The rate is 5,000 rupees, 5,001, but now the offer is going on at 2,001. You'll say this is worth trying. Immediately he'll subscribe and he'll pay 2,001. What? He wants that immediate result. And he will not do anything to improve his health. He'll keep eating the same wrong food. He'll never exercise. He'll never think of the right things. So this is a way, like a band of blind people are leading you to climb the Himalayan range. So here, Tesham Jnanin Tudada Jnanam Yesham Nashitam Atmanaha. Now we go into the detail of this. Atmanaha means that knowledge which is pertaining to about your own self. That Atmana, that Ajnanam, ignorance which is there about my own true self. I don't know what is my true self. If you ask me who are you, I'll say I'm so and so person. I'm son of so and so, or the husband or wife of so and so, or father of so and so. And then you say I live here, I work here, and this is my identity. So ignorance is my Jiva Swarup. Ignorance. I have born with ignorance. I live in ignorance, and I pass also with ignorance. But we are that special breed, special category where we were born with ignorance. Now ignorance is slowly fading away, and at one point where we hope and pray that before we pass away, ignorance is completely out of us. So that Atmanaha, I have a feeling I'm doing everything. Yes, like anybody, I also have that feeling. And that also that ignorance of that Sarvakarta Paramatma. We know there is God. You go to that temple, offer a puja, make a prayer that if this happens, I'll come with so and so many kilos of peda and whatever. Ye chadaunga, wo chadaunga, that kind of a thing. That is all what you know about this Sarvakarta Paramatma. You are filled with ignorance about your own self and about the Paramatma as well. So here, firstly, what we have to do, what we have to understand the true meaning of this I. Call me, I. That Jiva Swarupa, what is it? What is its limitation? That we have to understand. See now how, from where our journey started, we have understood now there is ignorance. How did it come? As we were born, this ignorance came. So look at this Hamsa mantra, What does it say? Saha aham, aham saha, ham saha, saha aham. Now here what you need to know, aham, who is this? Once you know who is this, nature of this person, I. That is self-realization. Think deeply. I am not the owner of my eyes. Think. You'll get an answer. Are you the owner of your eyes? Did you do anything to get these eyes? Did you prescribe, I wanted brown eyes, I want black eyes, I wanted green eyes, blue eyes? Did you say anything? Big eyes, small eyes? No. Your eyes are not yours. Ears are not yours. Your mouth and tongue is not yours. Your nose is not yours. What you're doing is you're just seeing, smelling, tasting, all that you're doing. Of what? Whatever is coming in front of you. Now, are the things which are in front of you, have you created them? You have neither created your eyes or ears or your nose or your mouth and tongue, nor you have created what is outside this. And what about your mind? I didn't do anything about my mind. Do your organs listen to you? No. Does your mind listen to you? No. You say, heart, stop functioning. I want to give you rest. 1 hour you take rest. Don't function at all. Even breathing, my God, you have been breathing since I have been seeing you. You really need some vacation now. Please go on a vacation for a week. Can you tell your lungs? They don't listen to you. Your mind doesn't listen to you. So once we try to understand who gave me all this, these eyes, these ears, these senses, this mind, I'm just getting experience from them. And when I ask who gave me all this, and as you start going into much more detail, in fact, the other day I had sent a small video talking about, they showed this portion of the palm and they went deeper and deeper and deeper inside up to the atom level, crossing the DNA also. They went to that extent. Now if you see how this body has been created, this is just below the skin what we saw. Imagine if you look at how an eye is made, or how a ear is constructed, how a brain is constructed, then you will say, oh my God, I am not this. Sorry, I was unnecessarily telling that this is mine, these are my eyes, this is my nose, this is my ears, this is my mind. I was saying all this. Sorry, this is not me. Some spectacular creator has created this marvelous body. He is the owner. Once you come to know that who is this I in the true sense, then that will be a first step towards self-realization. I do not have any ownership on all this. I just have them, that's it. Just having them with me and having ownership of them, there is a big difference. Now, let's say you have you have a car. Now you give the car to the driver. Now the driver has the car. Does it mean that he owns the car? Just by having the car, one does not become the owner of the car. So in the same way, all these sense organs, this mind, this body belongs to somebody else. And it has come with us as this jiva came into being. This entire conglomerate came. Just like that cashier in the bank who has all that money, not a rupee of it belongs to him. It is not his cash, it is all the bank's money. So we have to ask who gave this. And now distance yourself. The moment you say who gave this, meaning you are no more the owner. Then ask who is the owner? Rishikeshaha. Who is this Rishikeshaha? Rishika means sense organs. Isha means owner. So who is the owner of the Rishika, Isha of the Rishika? It is that power that enlivens this indriyas, the senses, the body, the mind. There is something which is enlivening. We only have the Rishika, meaning we only have the sense organs, but we are not the owners. These thoughts have to start arising in us. And practically see our body. Read about how a body is constructed. What are the various characteristics in a particular organ of a body? How you breathe air, how you eat food, how it is digested, and how the nutrients are segregated, and how the waste is thrown out. If you start going and following all this, you will see what this marvelous thing a body is. And this again and again this question should come, who is the owner? Meaning what? You have thereby decided that I am not the owner. That is the first step to self-realization. As I told you, you should disown everything. This method of study will help you to neti principle, what Bhagavan Shankaracharya has taught us. I am not this, I am not this, I am not this. So when you ask everything, who is the owner? So if this question hits you hard, that will be the stepping stone towards realization. This I has got no independent existence. It just survives on a borrowed existence. Now it's like a reflection. Now the reflection will move as per the movement of the one in front of the mirror. Now, if somebody is standing in front of the mirror, and if the reflection says, I am the truth, whereas you standing in front of me is false, it doesn't make sense. If the person lifts his right hand, the mirror also lifts its hand. If the person walks away from it, then the reflection also will walk away from the mirror. So this Soham, Saha Aham, Aham Saha. I am not he. I am a reflection of him. The Chaitanya Shakti which is enveloped the entire universe. That Chaitanya Shakti, when it falls on the mind, the Chaitanya Shakti reflects into the body as the Chetana Shakti. So, I am nothing but a reflection of that supreme power. So, in this way, Yesham Jnanena tu Tadajnanam Atmanaha. But now, how do I destroy? What has to be destroyed? This ignorance is about what? Me and God also. I have this ignorance. I need to destroy. So, Jnana is what Lord Krishna is saying is, you don't have to go somewhere else and make a heavy payment and buy something and come. No, Jnana is inside you right there. That Tattva is inside you. You just need to recognize it. It is like inside the box. So what you see outside is the box. What is the box? The ignorance. Now, how to open the box? You have lost the key. We don't know where the key is. Without the key, how can I open the box? Lord Krishna says you don't have to open the box in any case. Wow. Which means I don't have the key, but what I want is in the box. Without the key, I have to open the box to get it, and I don't have to open. Meaning, this jnana is like fire. See, this is the important crux here. We know that it is there inside. It is like fire. It is a small flame now, because in everybody it is a small flame. Reason is that flame has kept you alive. Now what you have to do is start giving fuel and wind to that fire. Set it ablaze. And once it sets in full blaze, then the box which is covering it will be burnt down to ashes. You don't have to open the box. Just kindle the fire within and turn it into a blazing fire. Jnanena tu tadajnanam yesham nashitam. So the central teaching here is give breeze to the fire. Now what is the meaning of giving breeze? You mean to say I take some fan or something and I start fanning in front of my chest? No. Giving breeze here means manana. Manana. Now, we have started sending the previous discourses on a daily basis. Now, many have given me a feedback. They are so thankful. They are saying, by listening to it the second time, the third time, every time we listen, something new opens up. So, you get the knowledge again. And then once you have heard to it, your mind starts rotating on that thought. So giving breeze is manana, and if the manana and chintan goes on continuously, then the flame of knowledge slowly starts. It flares up. What can Shravana do? Hearing. It can aid the process, or it can ignite. It starts. I heard something. I start manana, which is thinking about it, which is I need to achieve the right results. So in this way, once the Shravana happens, the Manana happens, and the person starts pursuing that thought. Starts him in a simple manner. This, what did I do to get this body? I have not done anything. In fact, the beauty is, you didn't do anything to to be born. Somebody else gave you the name. Somebody else was feeding you all along. And in between, you started jumping around and said, I did this, I did that. But eventually somebody else will take you to the grave. Imagine, this is the fate of our life. And that is all because of ajnana, ignorance. So we have got this jnana. Surrender yourself. Even before you go to that state where somebody has to lift you and take, you disown the body. Swami Vivekananda said, kick the world before the world kicks you. Eventually the world is going to kick you. If you actually see, old person at home, he is not earning anything, nor he has got any property in his name, nor that person has got any jewels or anything, okay, which is worth something and you are going to get something out of it. I tell you, they are treated like dirt. Look at various houses where these old people are there. As far as you are giving something, you get something from the world. But the moment you are not able to give anything, your value just drops down. Which means the world kicks you at one point. So what Swami Vivekananda says is, come to that state where before the world can kick you, you kick the world. So this box of ignorance has to be burnt by the fire of knowledge. So with this kind of a fire of knowledge, jnana, atmanaha jnanam, one gets that true realization of oneself and also a realization of God. Saying what? I am just a reflection. If one understands this concept completely, then the thought that I am the doer will never come to us. I am a reflection, meaning he is holding the threads. I am a puppet and the Lord is a puppeteer. And what is he giving? Is he giving me anything out of grudge? No. Based on the past karma of this jiva, which has owned this body and come, now it is getting whatever it needs to get from time to time in life. Whoever, all others who are there with you, your spouse, your children, your parents, your in-laws, your relatives, your friends, and other people in the world with whom you are transacting, they have all come with something to give you and something to take from you. Understand this. And they will all go on their own. To whatever extent they had to be with you, they will be with you for that time, and thereafter they'll move away from your life. So reflection is purely dependent on the object which is in front of it. And no reflection has got any independent existence. And reflection cannot function on its own. See, these are the principles. So this Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti, all these three, one person has them independently, and that is the Paramatma. If Jnana Shakti, Ichha Shakti, Kriya Shakti is dependent on somebody else, then you become a Jivatma. One who is having by itself is Paramatma. Dependent on that, we become Jivatma. And another level is if that Kriya Shakti alone is there, that becomes a Jada Atma. It is Jada. Because it has got only Kriya. There is no Ichha, there is no Jnana. So knowing these kind of limitations, understand your true self. Drive away that ignorance. And then the stage will come where that light of knowledge has lit in you. How will you feel if this knowledge comes in? Tesham adityavat jnanam prakashayati tatparam. So here the Lord says that once this jnana brightens up in you, it is as illustrious like the sun. Like now during bad light, It's night, let's say, there's not much light. You take a torch and you try to throw light on various objects. You're not able to see that place or that object clearly. But the same thing, no sooner you see that in daylight, every angle what you wanted to see will be crystal clear. So just as the sun brightens the whole world, in the same way, this going inward, that inner light will light up and drive away all the ignorance. Ignorance just like darkness. Everything will be crystal clear to us in life. About what? What is a jiva? What is jada? What is Paramatma? How this creation happened? How this jiva got into bondage? How I can get released out of bondage? All these things. What we are now getting is Paroksha Jnana. Paroksha means Para Aksha. Para means other. Aksha means I. Others I. Somebody else who has seen. Somebody has seen a movie and come. And he is explaining to you. Now that is Paroksha Jnana of the movie. I have not seen. He has seen with his eyes. But when this knowledge comes within you, it blazes forth within you, it is known as Aparoksha Jnana. Aparoksha means my own eyes. Like you go and see the movie, then whatever somebody tells you, that is not the experience you will have. You will have your own experience of seeing it with your own eyes. So this will be that complete destruction of that I, me, mine, which is the Jiva Bhava, which has entangled you in this Jiva Bhava relationship. So the central meaning of this verse is, but for those whose ignorance is destroyed by divine knowledge, the Supreme Entity, when it is revealed, just as the sun illumines everything when it rises. See, now if you tell this and you move forward, what will we understand? The great philosophers, Bhagavan Shankaracharya and Madhvacharya, Ramanujacharya, Sureshwaracharya, Padmacharya, like they have all written commentaries on the central teaching and meaning of this particular, these shlokas given by Lord Krishna. And we not only got to understand what is the cause and where the ignorance is lying, how the mind is working, what are the steps where we get dissuaded, and all the other flavors and shades of the mind. After having understood that, then eventually we come back to understanding that the only and only way to get rid of this is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. That is like fanning the small flame which is there, make it a blazing fire. Like as you have seen, when there is wind, and even if it is a small fire, as the wind makes it a blazing fire, in the same way, this Shravana, Manana has to happen in us to the next level. This is what knowledge we get, and without which, like, because Ajnana is darkness. Now what is happening to us? Like you enter a cinema theater, let's say. It is dark. Okay, no lights. And on that screen, there is that projector. Now that projector, in that darkness, it is projecting fantastic illusion. And people are engrossed in the movie. Some are, when there is a sorrowful scene, you see people having tears in their eyes. And when there is a laughing scene, people are happily laughing. And when there is something which makes you angry, you can see that grin on the face of the people. Now, all these are illusions which is created on the silver screen in that darkness. But the moment the lights are on, then what happens is the impact of what illusion was created, it gradually dies down. So in the same way, when the light of God's knowledge, it starts shining on us, that illusion which is there within us, we start waking up to the true spiritual identity of our own selves. And now how has this soul fallen into this kind of ignorant, what you call this, muck? It is the Lord himself says that God's material energy known as avidya shakti, maya, has covered it by darkness. And when you get the vidya shakti, which is the spiritual energy which we are all learning, this darkness is expelled and we see it illumines with the light of knowledge our entire life. So this is what we need to understand over here. Get the facts right. Know how your mind is playing. Start laughing at the mind. Don't fall a prey in getting into action and fall a prey to all what it asks. Control it. Is this taking me to where I want to go eventually? Then you pay heed to the thought. Otherwise, step back and say, I'm not going to do this. Eventually understanding that I am not the owner of anything over here. That becomes the key takeaway from today's lesson. It's God and God alone. He has created, and it is He who is sustaining this, who is nurturing this, and at one day, this particular body, which is carrying the jiva, it withers away from this jiva, and jiva alone remains. Now, as far as that jiva has understood that my connect or my true self is that Paramatma, meaning it has written an address on an envelope and has kept it ready. So as immediately after the body dies, then this jiva is straight transported to the address which it has already written and kept. If it has not written the address of the Paramatma, then what has it written? It might have not thought and written per se, but all the desires, the vasanas, which are embedded in that jiva, now that decide where this has to go. It goes to the post office. Where addresses are not there, it goes to the post office. So there it goes back into samsara. Post office is like samsara. It goes back there. And if that particular body has got a desire for XYZ, accordingly, based on its past karma, then again a new body is given to that jiva and it takes birth in the yoni suitable for that particular type of body. This is how the whole thing is going about. So we are fortunate to listen to these things, stay with it. Now only thing what we have to do, the purushartha over here is, prarabdha is we got this knowledge. Purushartha is kindling fire now. That is our purushartha. And I say that although it is my purushartha, surrender to the Lord and say, I am not that capable. Your Maya Shakti is Yama strong, they say, no? Meaning magnanimously strong. I can't tolerate the force of Maya Shakti unless and until you bless me, you grace me, I will not be able to achieve this. So surrender and surrender is the only key to this. Keep surrendering to the Lord. Seek His grace and be those divine thoughts and burn the box of ignorance within us. Shri Krishna Arpanastu Idam Namama. Now we study from verse 42 of the Vishnu Sahasranama. We study 386 and 387 divine name. Okay. Let's read the shloka first. Vyavasayo vyavasthanah samsthanasthanado dhruvah parardip paramaspashtah tushtapushtas subhekshanah. 387 Sthanadah. Sthanadah. 387. Now, we have not done 386. Okay, so we'll do 386 Samsthanah. Now, the meaning of Samsthanah is the ultimate authority or goal. He who absorbs unto himself all the multiplicities of names and forms during the time of deluge, which is the pralaya, the one source into which all perceptions, emotions, and thoughts retire and merge at the time of deep sleep. In short, it means the one who integrates the plurality and observes it all unto himself. When the projections are ended at that time of transcendence. Samsthanaha. Next we come to is Sthanadaha, 387. Here it means one who confers the right abode. Each living organism, according to his actions and thoughts, gathers to himself vasanas, and according to the vasanas, each individual takes his birth. Amazing. See, exactly what we just now discussed. Thus, the one who gives, meaning Dada, who gives, Sthana Dada, you know what we are talking. Dada means the one who gives. The appropriate abode, which means the sthana, to each individual jiva is called sthanadaha. In short, the Lord is the distributor of the fruits of actions of each and every individual. Karma phaladata Ishvaro Narayanaha. He is the karma phaladata. Whatever good, bad we have done in our past lives and this life, all computed by the Data or the Paramatma, you are confirmed with that. So you get a life according to that. If you are on the path of spirituality, if you have not reached the final abode of aparoksha anubhuti, meaning having the final knowledge of the supreme reality, if you are still in an incomplete state, then the Lord gives you the right body, the right atmosphere, the right parents, in the right place, and a right guru to get that knowledge and complete your journey. And if you are all the time, let's say you have a flair to perform music, you are born in a family of musicians, and there you are able to further take it to the next level. So this way, each and every jiva is given the designated kind of a birth based on its papa and punya. Okay. So to such a Lord who is Samsthanaha and Sthanadaha, we offer our humble salutations. Again and again seek His grace, mercy and blessings. Now we chant the Shri Dhanvantari mantra for giving us good health 3 times. Om Namo Bhagavate Mahasudarshanaya Vasudevaya Dhanvantaraye Amrutagalashahastaya Sarva Bhaya Vinashaya Sarva Roga Nivaranaya त्रैलोक्यपतये त्रैलोक्यनिधये श्री महाविष्णु स्वरूप श्री धन्वन्तरी स्वरूप श्री 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 औषध चक्र नारायणाय स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते महासुदर्शनाय वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वभयविनाशाय सर्वरोगनिवारणाय त्रैलोक्यपतये त्रैलोक्यनिधये श्री महाविष्णुस्वरूप श्री धन्वन्तरी स्वरूप श्री 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 औषधचक्र नारायणाय स्वाहा। ओम नमो भगवते महासुदर्शनाय वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वभयविनाशाय सर्वरोगनिवारणाय त्रैलोक्यपतये त्रैलोक्यनिधये श्री महाविष्णुस्वरूप श्री धन्वन्तरी स्वरूप श्री 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 औषधचक्र नारायणाय स्वाहा। Our humble salutations to Lord Dhanvantari. Deha Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Our body is like a vehicle which takes you to various places, makes you achieve all what you want to in life. Without good health, we will not be able to achieve what we want, and for that we take special grace of Lord Dhanvantari to give us good health till the end of our life. Now we do the Sakshatkara Siddhi Yoga Dhyana, Sakshi Bhava meditation, meaning meditating as a witness to your own self. Please make yourself comfortable. If you need to get up and relax for a while, just take a few steps getting up. Then you can be seated comfortably, head, neck and spine in a straight line. Relax your face completely, especially your forehead. Let's take a few deep breaths. Observe your breath going in, going below your navel, which slightly pushes your belly outward. And then when you exhale, your belly goes inside. From the bottom of your abdomen, you push the air out through your nostrils. Keep observing the movement of this air and know that this air is given by the Lord. The lungs are given by the Lord. Every process is done by Him. You are just an observer. Nothing is under your control. Give away the ownership of what you had over this body. Know the true owner of this body, the Paramatma. And the so-called you as a Jivatma is merely using this body. I am not this body, this mind, or the senses. Now observe your mind. Observe the thoughts which are coming in your mind. When you are not judgmental about the thoughts, the thought dies its own death. It has got no energy to survive. Slowly experience the number of thoughts dying, and you reach a state of no thoughts. Achieving the state of being in no thoughts mode, even for a small period of time, is a great achievement in your sadhana. Still the mind. When the thoughts do not form in your mind, that means there is no samsara for you. You are getting rid of the bondage. Become aware of yourself. Become aware of where you are seated. Become aware of your breath. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Rub your palm, place them on your eyes, gently and lovingly open your eyes. Together, we offer today's Gita Gnani Yajna at the lotus feet of the Lord. Naham Karta, Hari Karta, Hari Pritam. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Idam Namama. Om Tat Sat.